Why are you not smiling? Okay. First of all, I want to say a big thank you to Miss Wamara for this invite. I do not take it for granted. I feel privileged to be standing in the midst of such beautiful and phenomenal women. I want to thank the organizers of this program for everything that you have put together. You know, it makes me excited to see that programs that affect women are not necessarily being built around just domestic activities anymore. We're having conversations that can change our lives for good. We have moved from the mundane things of how to make soap to how to build real estate, how to build wealth. Because for too long, it looks like building wealth was not a thing for women. So every single time we are being trained on how to be respectful, how to be more domesticated, but we are changing that conversation. And as this change is unfolding, as the conversations are being had, it matters how you're seeing yourself. Put yourself in the picture. Are you getting that? Begin to refine your dreams. Tell yourself that you can be bigger. You can be anything that you want to be. You know, the real estate industry is largely dominated by men, but we can change that. Even the Bible talks about the Proverbs 31 woman. It says she considers a field and buys it. That means she was into real estate.
That's why I'm here.
I thank you. She was into real estate. She was not just a virtuous woman. So how did we turn the conversation to making her just a virtuous woman? She was a virtuous, rich woman. I am a virtuous, rich woman. Generational wealth and riches is in my household. I am one of those women that when I am done, I will have a will bequeathing so much to my children and my grandchildren. It should not be the exclusive reserve of men to be rich. And sir, we are not just about bone straits. We want to be women that are recognized for more than that. So I welcome you all this morning, and I'll be sharing with you very briefly on how to transfer the experience that you have in the real estate sector and use that skill, that experience to expand your view, expand your reach, expand your impact in our world today. You know, while I was preparing for this conference, and I was thinking to myself that one of the most basic needs of man is housing. Everybody needs an accommodation. Everybody needs a place to lay their head when the day is over. That means that it's one industry that cannot be overlooked. So when you find yourself in such an industry, don't for any reason think that it's just about making enough money to eat. No, it's about making impact. It's about connecting to one of the things that God instituted to make humans comfortable. So if you are in the real estate sector, whether as a consumer, because some of you here as consumers today, you want to hear how to buy your first land. You want to hear how to own your own house. You want to hear about how to get passive income from real estate. Then some of you are here as resellers. You are marketers of real estate. And then there are others who are here as developers. Whichever category that you fall into, I want to let you know that real estate sector is an empowering sector. It can build you and make you a giant in your world. I wanted to say glory to God because I'm also a pastor. So when we think about real estate, we often picture property listings, negotiations, and closing deals. And then, do you know that you can have an experience and treat it as an isolated experience? That means you didn't learn anything from it. You're not transferring any lessons, any wisdom, any skills from that experience to any other sector. But another person will go through the same event, have the same experience, and become empowered to be a champion outside of that space. So real estate is more than buying houses. It's more than buying lands. It's actually developing you. It's developing you as you are experiencing it. You know, when I came into Abuja immediately after my youth service and I began to work, somehow I used to say to myself, you know, it matters what you say to yourself. Self-talk is so powerful. Unfortunately, maybe more than 80% of our self-talk tends to be negative. We tend to talk about what we cannot do, what we do not like to do. I think you should turn your focus on what you can do and what you like to do. Because what you give attention gives you direction. Whatever you keep talking about, you are becoming. So I used to say, I don't like marketing. I don't ever want to do marketing. I've never gone to an interview in the bank. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. You know? So I'll say that to myself over and over again. And then God in his humor, when I was posted to a company for youth service, guess the department that I was moved to? God just wanted to unlock something in me, to ask me, who told you? You know, and then I became the highest earner in that department out of 8 coppers. Now, when you make a sale, when you do a transaction, there's a commission for you. So at the end of every month, beyond whatever the company was paying me, I was making maybe 5 or 6 times more as commission. And so I began to wonder, how did I come about the idea that I do not like marketing? So that job began to shape me. Because today I want to talk to you quickly about how your involvement in the real estate sector will shape you and turn you into a professional, a sought-after person. Real estate is a training ground for you to learn invaluable skills, transferable skills in the world of business. One of the things that you must do as a real estate person is communication. Is anybody with me? You need to talk. You need to connect with people. Real estate is about people. You know, some of us say we are introverts. Those are just captions. Those are just cliches. Those are just descriptions created by other people. And when you buy into the message, it puts you in prison. It imprisons you. But in real estate, you cannot be introverted enough that you won't talk to anybody. You will find yourself interacting with people. Either you are convincing them or they are convincing you. Either you are asking them questions or they are asking you questions. Are you getting that? And then when you become proficient in your ability to convince and communicate, what do? It becomes a transferable skill that you can take to any other industry. When I was done with my marketing as a copper in that company, I was retained and I worked with them for another 3 years. I found out that I had been lying to myself for so long. And that's how I got into a business today where I'm constantly selling. I can even sell a human being if the need arises. But thank God there is no need for that. So at the heart of real estate is people, and every deal begins and ends with conversations. Real estate teaches you the ability to communicate, to connect, to understand people's emotions and appeal to their emotions. You can hardly sell to people if you don't make them fall in love with what you're selling. You have to convince them. So the ability to connect, to listen, and to communicate is what builds trust in the real estate industry. And what do? When you have perfected it, you can transfer it to any other part of your life. And then number 2 is negotiation. That is the language of sales. You know, I usually say to my husband, I said, you almost want to take everything from people free. He will negotiate and negotiate. How many of you have ever gone to the market with an African woman, your mother? And then they ask her, how much is this meat? She is asking, how much is this meat? And the person says 25,000. She said, won't you sell for 6,500? You just want the ground to open. And you enter because, why is this woman trying to embarrass me? But it's a skill. Are you getting that? It's a skill. When you deal in real estate, whether as a consumer or as a seller, as a developer, you find yourself constantly negotiating. Somebody says, okay, are you going to add wardrobe? If I'm paying 45 million for this house, are you going to do the wardrobes? Are you going to do the kitchen cabinets? And when you have become proficient in negotiating, you can take it to any other sector. I remember when we just started our business, and then we'll be talking to some manufacturing companies outside Nigeria, and they'll say to us that to start, you must buy a container load of goods. And then my husband, I call him the chief negotiator. He goes into, the anointing to negotiate comes upon him, and he begins to talk to them. But I'm the one trying to introduce your business to Nigeria. So what you should do is allow me take a sample of so and so number of pieces, and then if my clients like it, I'll come back and he will talk and talk. Sometimes they will almost give him the sample free. There are times some will tell him, okay, just pay for the goods, we'll handle the freight. The ability, the power to negotiate. And that's one of the skills you can learn in real estate. In the same estate, somebody is buying a unit for 85 million, another person is buying it for 60 million. Because of the ability, the power to negotiate. And this is a powerful but transferable skill. And then should we talk about data analysis, market analysis? Today, everything in our world is driven by data. You can't just go open a business. I see people who say, real estate is booming, and so they want to build their own. And then they start and nobody buys in. What data did you have? What is the demographics of the people who are buying? What is their income level? So you went to an area and you built a real estate that does not match up with the income level of the people in that environment because you have no data. So when you learn how to, it's even the same thing with a consumer of real estate. You're buying this house for this many millions. And then in your mind, when I have finished paying, I will put a tenant who pays XYZ. The people that live around that place, can they pay the rents that you are assuming that you want to receive? You are forced to work with data, to ask questions, to look at market analysis. And guess what? When you perfect it, it becomes what? A transferable skill. So I'm here to tell you today that real estate is not about buying the house. It's not about buying the land. It's not about being a developer. It's about what? Learning, being transformed in the process of getting involved in this industry. And then let's talk about resilience. I'm not sure anybody faces objections and rejections like real estate people. You are so confident that senator will like this house and he will pay for it. Sometimes they make you go and come back. They can't tell you immediately that they don't want it. And then you keep hoping. Sometimes they make you go and get an offer letter. Can anybody relate? They make you go and get an offer letter. They ask you for several things. You've put the document. They are looking for a way to tell you that they don't want to buy. And so rejection after rejection, yet you haven't given up. You know what you have done to yourself? You have built resilience. You have said to yourself, I do not give up. I will not fail. And then when you move to another sector, people wonder, why are you always so optimistic? After chopping rejection, like pure water, why will I not be optimistic? And I still survived in that industry. So I take my optimism into whatever aspect of my life. Somebody said to me, you are always expecting the best outcomes. I said, yes, it's a training. I trained myself to expect what? The best outcomes. And it came out of years of experiencing the no's, the outcomes you didn't want, and yet you're not giving up. So real estate will cause you to be what? Resilient. Even if you're a consumer, how about you bought a piece of land, you were so excited about it, you've done your design, and now you're about to start building, and somebody comes and says, it's my own. That's Abuja for you. On Monday, I think 2 days ago, I called someone and said, oh, so and so plot of land that we have in so and so place. Can you just drive around it and see what's happening there? And then he sent me a video. There were 3 different numbers on the fence saying this land is not for sale. For any inquiries, contact those numbers. And none of the numbers were ours. And so we began to call them, one after the other. Oh, so and so land in so and so location. We saw your number on the fence. Is it yours? Yes, it's my own. Okay, so can we see so that we'll see your documents and say I'm out of town, which is their modus operandi. And then the second one we called, and that person, at first he wanted to agree that it's his. Then when he heard that that land belongs to us, he said no, that he knows the owner. And he's the one marketing it for the person. I said, how can you be marketing a property you wrote not for sale? Just looking for an escape. The 3rd number didn't go. This is what? This is how real estate builds you. When you are done, in a few years, you are like somebody that has passed through the fire. Building resilience, adaptability. And then real estate causes you to network. And that's why we are here today. Don't leave this place today without getting the number, the information, at least 2-3 people. Are you getting that? In real estate, they will tell you that your network is your net worth. Who is in your corner? Who do you know? Some people want to do real estate in isolation. How are you going to sell all of those units? Or how are you going to know when a great deal is coming up? You need to network more and more as you get involved in this industry. This skill of building relationships and recognizing opportunity is the same one that drives success in any leadership position, in any partnership, in any entrepreneurship, anything that you need to do. You need to network. You need to get out there and talk to people. Don't be afraid. See, people that carry big titles are still just people. You know, when they're introducing any speaker today, they will read one long thing for you. They're still just people. After the titles, they are what? Just people. So you are not afraid to connect. You are not afraid to speak up. You are not afraid to make contact with them. And the real estate teaches you project management and strategic what? Planning. Whether you're developing, whether you are an end user. You see, one of the beautiful things about real estate is you become everything. You begin to make decisions that you didn't know anything about before. Somebody is asking you, how many bags of cement do we need for this level? Have they done the DPC? Don't say what is DPC. That's why you have a phone in your hand. If they mention things that you didn't know before, just behave like you know. Let the conversation flow. Then when you leave there, what do? You go and do your research. Because that's why that sector, it looks like women couldn't make progress in it because we didn't want to learn more. We didn't want to learn, but keep learning. You find yourself becoming a project manager. I remember, even as an architect, at the early stages, when we're on site and I'm trying to tell maybe the builders, whoever, what to do, they'll look at you as if, you that is a woman, what do you know? And if your pillar is not straight, it's not straight. If your foundation is not going according to plan, it's not going according to plan. You become what? A project manager. You begin to insist on quality. You begin to insist on proper execution. And as you're doing this, you are growing as well. And so you find yourself managing multiple clients and deadlines. This thing has to be finished by tomorrow. So you become a procurement manager. You become everything. And tell me why, when you take on another project outside real estate, you cannot succeed. You will succeed because you've learned so much. From planning to budgeting to coordinating teams. And should we talk about ethics and reputation? The real estate industry demands integrity in your interactions. People want to trust you. People want to believe in you. One of the fastest ways to grow in real estate is for your word to be your bond. You do what you said you would do. Are you getting that? In fact, people should be able to say that you will deliver more than they expected from you, not less. And what does that do? Gaining acceptability. It's a social capital. It's a currency. Integrity is a currency. It can be spent. One person recommends you, another person recommends you, and what's happening to you? Your network is growing day after day. And so your reputation should be protected at all costs. If I say I'm going to pay at this time, I should pay at that time. If I say I'm going to deliver this project in 6 months, I should deliver the project what? In 6 months. So your reputation is everything. Integrity is not just a virtue, it's a business what? Strategy. It's a business strategy. And this same principle applies across all professions. Trust and credibility are currencies that will sustain you in the long run. Finally, being in the real estate sector makes you a visionary. It's only in real estate that you see a city in the bush. When our son was still very young, maybe 2 or 3 years old, at that stage they talk a lot. They ask questions a lot. One day we drove into the bush, and then he turned around. Why are we driving into the bush? We've left the road. I said, Mommy, why are we in the bush? And I said, there's money in the bush. Real estate makes you a visionary. You begin to see what others do not see. I'll give you an example. Our showroom headquarters is a life camp somewhere opposite Fish Market. About 12, 13 years ago, we bought that land, and that area was mostly bush, surrounded by some shanties, villagers, and all of that. And we took a friend to see the property, and he said, this place is not yet open. And I said to him, this is Abuja. If we wait for this place to be open, the amount we are paying now will be like times 20 when it's time to pay for it. It's only real estate that makes you look at a land that another person is seeing as wasteland, and you are seeing a city. You are seeing gold. You are seeing money. You are seeing structures come alive. And so we paid for it and built that place in hope. In fact, as we started building, it looked like the government started working on the road. But we love our beautiful country. As the elections came, they stopped, hoping that they'll continue after elections. And then 2015, the government changed, and that was how that road was forgotten. Every year we hear that is in the budget. Every year we hear that is in the budget. But it didn't stop us. Are you getting that? You know what you have seen. It's amazing how people like Dubai 50 years ago decided they wanted to be the Dubai that we see today. Right in the desert. Real estate makes you a visionary. You see what others do not see. And then guess what? Last year, the caterpillars moved in. In fact, when I heard that they were about to do the road, I told myself, we've been hearing that every year. He said, man, no, this time they are serious. And in less than 5 months, that express crossed the front of our showroom. And then now people come here and say, how did you get this place? Don't wait to get the place when it has become a city. Move into the place and pull the city to yourself. This is what real estate does to you. It changes you. You see differently. You think differently. And I want to say to you as women, there should be no limits to what you dare to dream of. In my church, I tell them, women go and buy land. We have left the era of, my husband said I should not buy land. Are you getting that? Buy land, build houses. We can have shopping complexes in this town. Because most likely if we take census of the shopping complexes in Abuja, maybe they are 99% male-owned. Why? When is yours coming up? What do you see? Sometimes I say to myself, the owner of Sky Memorial never needs to work a day in his life. The owner of Barnes Plaza, he can just sit down and sip champagne the rest of his life and nothing spoiled. I'm saying that to you today to open your eyes. Choose to see. Take your diary, write it down. I will have a plaza in this town. I'm not just talking about residential accommodation. That's at a different level. But you see, you want to have passive income that you can transfer to your children's children. Look into commercial real estate. Not, God, if I can just have this 2-bedroom where me and my children will stay. That's not why you came here. Miss Omar, is that why you brought them here? You didn't come here to get a 2-bedroom. So all 2-bedroom visions deleted. Real estate will take you places. It will give you a voice. Are you getting that? It will give you what? A voice. It will make you stand out. Somebody will say, who owns that thing? Your name begins to come up. So all of the lessons that you learn here today, all of the things that you will hear is just for one thing, that in a few years, you become a force to reckon with. We can point to you and say, from where I come from, see what this woman has done. Let them say, is he a woman that owns that? Is he a woman that owns that? That's what we want to start hearing. So from experience to expansion, from real estate comes a power to not just succeed, but to live well. I like money. Everybody that knows me knows that I like money. Even the Bible says money answereth all things. So as women, the money we are going for in the next 10 years is not money for bone straight hair. It's not money for I'm bigger than my friend. She wore a shwebi of 500,000. I wore the one of 1.2 million. Let's think generational wealth. Let's think legacy. Let's think big things. Let's think billions in turnover per annum. Let's think. In dollar, I was just about to say, let's think in forex. God bless you.